This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
A little bit. Wait a minute. Hold on. Am I here? Oh, not again with this whole little thing. Come on. Started the music too loud. I'm showing up weird on the screen. I don't know. Okay, here. Got it figured out. Welcome to Waterfall Wednesday. It is the After Party Live. Thank you for your patience. Good Mark Thompson show. I love the guests today. Everybody had a lot of really interesting things to say. Tomorrow, a total lawyer city on the Mark Thompson show. We've got Corey Brettschneider, who is a constitutional law expert, and of course, former federal prosecutor, now defense attorney David Katz will be on the show. It'll be another really good one tomorrow on the Mark Thompson show. I should also note, since we're talking about Thursday, that in addition to Trivia Thursday tomorrow here on the After Party Live at 5 p.m., the Nikki Maduro Show takes off on YouTube. Cocktails, mocktails, and politics, the Nikki Maduro Show at 5 p.m. I look forward to it every week, so I hope that you'll join in. That is tomorrow at 5. So if some people say they forget, so set a little alarm on your phone. Maybe if you get a notification, it'll work. Because I'd love to have you along for the ride there. So thank you so much for being here on the After Party Live. And thank you to everyone who contributes to the show to make it work. Just really, really appreciate it so much. You can do it via PayPal. And that is the link to that is in the About tab here on YouTube. And every day it's listed in the show description as well. So some of the contributors during the overnight hours, Janet R., thank you so much for your monthly $50 contribution to the show. John R. as well. Murphy, Jane O. Wes with $5 as well. Huge, huge thank you to everyone who helps fund this show and make it possible. Just so appreciate it. All right, we move on. Let's go into, should we do Waterfall Wednesday first, do you think? I don't know. I think we might need to calm down. I think I might need to calm down. Yeah, it is Waterfall Wednesday, and it is the time when we take a little breather, relax, bring the blood pressure down just a little bit. Instead of doing it at the end of the show, let's do it now. It is Waterfall Wednesday, and today we are going to the island of Kauai in beautiful Hawaii. We've looked at waterfalls before on the Big Island, and we've looked at them, I think, on Maui. Now we're going to Kauai. And I have some beautiful waterfalls to show you, including this one. Yeah. How pretty is that? You can almost hear the water just rushing down. And picture yourself, visualize yourself standing there in front of this amazing waterfall. This particular waterfall is Wailua Falls in Kauai. And you may remember this waterfall from the TV show Fantasy Island. It was on the opening credits, Wailua Falls, and it looks different depending on how much water is coming down when you check it out. It's located in Wailua River State Park, about 4 miles from Lihue, and because the overlook is right on the road, there's no hiking involved in this one, just a really short tour. And it's spectacular. They say, don't hop over the railing to go down to the pool. Some people try to do this to go swimming, but the trespassing there causes erosion, and it's not a safe place to swim either. So they ask that you please respect the closed off area and the aina, the land, by staying in the observation area. The waterfall is 80 feet high. Some people say it's 173 feet, but the official measurement is 80 feet high. It is free to visit, and again, very easy to visit as well. Here is another one. This is on the list of the 10 best waterfalls on the island of Kauai. Opa'eka'a Falls near Kapa'a is number 2 on the list. Wow, look at that. Pretty beautiful. That'll be relaxing for us. This is on the eastern side of Kauai. There's an observation platform where you can take pictures. Really, really accessible waterfall. You can also visit the Wailua River overlook here. There's beautiful views of that, and there's picnic tables in this area. So, really beautiful. How about we go to Secret Falls? This is also off of the Wailua River, and super, super beautiful. This again, Wailua Falls. Hold on, let me take a look at this one. See if I can get. It looks kind of like that. It's hard to see sorry, I have to scroll through to show you the pictures. Oop, here it is. You can see people trekking through there, trying to get to it. Pretty special. Secret Hidden Falls. We'll move though to Hanakapi'i Falls. This is on the Nepali coast. Really, really beautiful. You can see it in the background. There's a family, but you can see the waterfall in the background. You got to get to it by, it looks like boat. So you can hike it, but it's a 300-foot tall waterfall located in Haena State Park on the Nepali coast, one of the most scenic parts of the island. You do have to have a permit to visit this one. And this is a little difficult because it crosses some rocky terrain, as you see in the background. And in the winter, there can be falling rocks and flash floods. So, probably not a good time to visit, especially if you're on the beach during this time. Also, not good. The waterfall is, again, 300 feet high, and there is a cost to go check that one out. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Look at that. Wow. That is, yeah, that's beautiful. There are so many waterfalls off the Nepali coast. This one is Mauna Waiopuna Falls, also known as Jurassic Falls, 400-foot tall. Mauna Waiopuna Falls, one of the most stunning sights in Kauai. It was used for several scenes in the Jurassic Park movies. So movie buffs and nature lovers, people love to go see this one. You have to get to it by helicopter. So you can see it, I guess, by boat or by chopper. That's your best bet. It's expensive because most of the time, if you're going to go see this one, you're on a helicopter looking at it. Yeah, it is completely inaccessible by foot. So if you take a chopper out there, you get to see it from above, but a lot of helicopters will land at the base so you can explore the area up close. Otherwise, there would be really no way. But how incredible is that? Really, really beautiful. The next one, ooh, look at how beautiful that picture is. Does it make you want to go to Hawaii right now? I'm telling you. Look at this mountain tubing adventure down a waterfall. Hey, hey, there he goes. I'm into that. Oh, look at this one. This is about 6 to 8 feet in height. It's called Red Dirt Waterfall. And I don't think you're going to see anything like that anywhere else in the world. I've never seen anything like this. This is in Waimea Canyon State Park. You can park your car on the side of the road right near mile marker 23. But they say the waterfall it's 6 to 8 feet high, but it's pretty cool. Free, but and easy to access, but really, really different looking waterfall. Here's another one. This is Waipu Falls, and it is in Waimea Canyon. So that's another beautiful area as well. Check out this picture of Waimea Canyon. Wow, so beautiful. Here's another one for you. Ho'opi'i Falls. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. There we have Waterfall Wednesday. Did it relax you a little bit? I hope so. That was my goal. So, can we talk a little bit about this? This is the blood moon. I want to suck your blood. The blood moon is coming this week, and it will be a total lunar eclipse. It will be visible early Friday morning. This blood moon will make the moon appear reddish during a total lunar eclipse that will peak at 2:55 a.m. Eastern Friday morning. It will be visible from the Earth's western hemisphere, prime viewing conditions North and South America. So I think we're going to get a look at this one. It's expected to light up the night sky. The blood moon, also called the blood worm moon, because of the color it appears, holds significance for the time of year it's happening. It's usually during the transition between winter and spring. So here we go. Uh, you can see it from the Earth's western hemisphere, so it will be visible in every US state. And depending on your time zone, you can either see it Thursday evening or Friday morning. The eclipse reaches totality when the full moon moves into the darkest part of the Earth's shadow. So here are the time zones when totality will happen, and it will stay there for about 65 minutes. So if you're in Hawaii, 8:26 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time on Thursday. Alaska, 10:26 p.m. on Thursday. Pacific Time here in California, 11:26 p.m. on Thursday. Okay, that's when we're going outside. 11:26 p.m. on Thursday. Mountain Time, 12:26 a.m. Friday. Central, 1:26 a.m. Friday, and Eastern, 2:26 a.m. on Friday. And you won't need special equipment to see this one. Binoculars, telescope will enhance the view, and a dark environment away from city lights always makes for the best viewing condition. Why do they call it a blood worm moon? Well, according to the Old Farmer's Almanac, the early Native Americans didn't record time using the Julian or Gregorian calendar months. Many tribes kept track of time by observing the seasons and lunar months, although there was a lot of very varying conditions. The worm moon name, they think, may have come from a plethora of earthworms found emerging from the ground as spring draws near. Other research, they looked at some writings from the 1700s. They cite types of worms and beetle larvae that emerge from tree bark as they thaw from winter. So, additional names for the March full moon signal the transition from winter to spring, and they are eagle moon, goose moon, crow comes back moon, sugar moon, wind strong moon, and sore eyes moon. I kind of like blood worm moon the best. So please send me pictures. If you pop outside Thursday night, Friday morning, wherever you may be, and you get a picture of this, I would love to see it. And we'll showcase it here on the After Party Live. You can find me at kim@theafterpartylive.com. That's the email address, kim@theafterpartylive.com. Send me your pictures, please. Check this out. What a trove of interesting things found. Ancient Egyptian jewels. Really cool. And a little golden statue as well. Amulets, small statues, all unearthed at this ancient Egyptian temple found at the Karnak Temple Complex in Luxor. Does that remind you of Johnny Carson, Karnak? Yeah. This is for real, though. The 2,600-year-old trove includes a necklace depicting a golden trio of Egyptian deities. That's cool. The team of Egyptian and French archaeologists that found this say the artifacts include golden rings, ornaments, beads, and a small statue depicting three ancient Egyptian gods dating back to Egypt's 26th dynasty. That was from 664 to 525 BCE. It's an important discovery, according to archaeologists, because it provides a clear understanding of the historical development of the Karnak temple during the first millennium BCE. The jewelry found remarkably intact, preserved inside broken pottery vessels. One of the most intriguing objects, they say, is the small golden statue you can see there in the bottom middle of three Egyptian gods, Amun, Khonsu, and Mut, that may have been worn as an amulet. So these gods were part of a trio in ancient Thebes, present-day Luxor, that represented a family group. So the golden triad of Amun, Mut, and Khonsu is designed and is right at home in Karnak Temple. It's a cult temple dedicated for the worship of these three deities. Pretty cool. Amun was the highest god in Thebes. Mut was his wife or consort and a divine mother. Khonsu was their son, the god of the moon, also often depicted in his youth. So The stash they found also included eye-shaped amulets known as wedjot. An amulet in that shape was thought to protect its wearer and transfer power of regeneration onto him or her. They're going to do some restoration, documentation, and then the entire jewelry collection will be put on display in the Luxor Museum. What they want to figure out is why the jewelry was buried at this spot. What's the significance of that? The artifacts, they say, while in good shape, are fairly flimsy. So maybe they weren't made for burial purposes rather than everyday use. They're not sure about that. Sorry, a little cough break. Okay, on to sea ice. Ugh, this is kind of unfortunate. Global sea ice is reaching a new record low. Yeah. The Norwegian Polar Institute image that you're looking at now shows a polar bear. You can see the bear in the front wandering on thinning sea ice in the Arctic. So, in the month of February, global sea ice reaches this new record low. This, according to the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service. The data combines the extent of sea ice from the Arctic and the Antarctic, and the records date back to the 1970s. Previously, 2023 had the record low for global ice. Scientists say it's an Arctic heat wave. That's why we have a new record. It prevented the normal growth of ice in the month of February. The Arctic sea ice reaching its lowest monthly extent for February at 8 below the historic average. It had previously set a record low minimum summer ice in September of last year. And the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration says sea ice helps prevent further warming of the globe. So the loss of this impacts natural ecosystems on land and below sea level as well. This is not what we want to hear. No, especially as we disband efforts to fight global climate change. Yeah. To happier news now, at least for someone. How about a little lotto of the day? This Maryland woman says she's convinced that she won her jackpot because she changed up her routine a little. She felt like her favorite lottery game was letting her down. You know, it's like your favorite slot machine in the casino. After you play it and you don't win, you kind of have acrimonious feelings toward that machine, perhaps. Well, this lady says she was tired of her lottery game that she used to play, and so she decided to mix it up a little bit. She used to go for the mega multiplier and the fast play tickets. She said it's been pretty lucky for her, but she decided to give her mega multiplier one last chance at a different store, the Hunt Valley Exxon in Cockeyesville, Maryland, because she was on a losing streak. She said, I didn't want to give up on it. She bought it somewhere else, and the ticket turned out to be a dud. So she started to leave the store, but then she had a second thought. She said, I stopped and I turned back to the vending machine and I looked for one more ticket to play. Gambling issue, anyone? She then selects a Casino Royale slot fast play ticket, and that's when she wins the progressive jackpot, $248,208. She said, I read the ticket closely and I saw that on one of my spins, I had 3 cash symbols. I closed my eyes and I started thanking God. She said the prize money comes at a perfect time because she can now be completely debt free and have a comfortable retirement. She said, it is a tremendous blessing. Truth. Could have gone either way, though, you know? This is what I wanted to show you guys yesterday. Really, really incredible pictures. I think I may have received a link to this from teacher Lori. So if that is the case, thank you. I know you send me a lot of links. So if this is one of yours, huge thank you. These are breathtaking images from the Nature Photography Awards. And this one is called Emperor Spy. It is by Thomas Vijayan, who is the winner, the photographer of the year for 2024. It's a mother penguin looking straight into a camera lens on a stand and her little chick peeking from behind. A lovely moment frozen in time. Pretty cute. This happened in the icy world of Antarctica, and they say it's a close look at how penguin families connect. What a shot. Look at that. The next one is Polar Bear Amid Firewood Blooms. This is also one of the awards for Photography of the Year for 2024. Look at that picture. It's a polar bear laying in this field of pink flowers. So cute. Taken by Christopher Petaku, capturing an unforgettable moment on a remote island known as Fireweed Island in the western Hudson Bay between Churchill, Manitoba, the polar bear capital of the world, and the Nunavut border. With less than 24 hours on the island, the photographer says, I awoke at 4 a.m. to the first light of dawn when the polar bears are most active. And stepping beyond the bear fence, I encountered a majestic polar bear wandering through a sea of blazing magenta fireweed. And that's what you see here. Definitely an award-winning shot. The next one is called Caught with a Mouthful, taken by Trevor Leclerc. So cute. This bear popping up from a grassy area. The folks in the backcountry had to guide this photographer out in this area to photograph coastal brown bears. The landscape, they said, is interesting because of all the bear activity, and they spotted this cub with its mom trekking across the meadow. They got within range of the two as they grazed on vegetation. So that's pretty cute. The next one's called I Don't Give a Flying Fox. There it is, a flying fox indeed. Pretty cute. This one's by Timo Verkmaverta, an Arctic fox roaming through the coastal Svalbard during springtime, and the timing was just there. Absolutely. This is beautiful. How they capture water and waves like this. The picture is called a sunrise glide. Look at that. So, so pretty. The sunrise glide, taken by Simon Biddle, who is a finalist for the underwater category. He said there are more than 200 species of stingrays in some parts of the world. They've become so accustomed to people that they will come right up to you. This photograph was taken at sunrise when a group of stingrays, called a fever, it's a fever of stingrays, remember that for trivia, approached, and then ray skin, also known as shagreen, was used for the furniture, handbags, and shoes for centuries. So they used to make things out of ray skin as well. So the wild farming apparently raising concerns for ray species extinction. Now the trade of exotic skins are regulated under the Convention on International Trade, and this picture highlights that. Here's one called Moby Dick. It was taken by photographer James Ferreira. Look at that. So beautiful. This is the winner of the underwater category. Off the coast of Dominica, the photographer James Ferreira, fortunate enough to dive with a pod of sperm whales. On this particular day, he says, there were tons of sargassum weeds in the water. A large sperm whale started to barrel toward me. I held my ground, he said, and when it passed me, I felt like a train was going by. He said, I was lucky enough to snap a few photos, and then the sargassum weed added to the composition of the shot. Really, really pretty. This next one is called The Search, taken by Stephen Reed. Look at those eyes. Incredible picture. This is a finalist in the wildlife category, taken in Kruger National Park. There's a leopard that was spotted here, but slipped away. So the photographer waited it out, and the leopard returned, clearly. Here's another one. This is also a finalist in wildlife, taken by Martin Coppert. The image was taken in the Kanha National Park in India. Here's that one. Really, really pretty. This next one looks like a scene out of The Lion King. Check that out. Yeah. This is a finalist in the wildlife category. It's called 3 in 1, taken by Girish Jamadagni. These lions are from the famous Rongal Pride of Masai Mara. And Girish says it was difficult picture to shoot, or a difficult picture to shoot, as the sun was setting and the light was fading really, really fast. But what a beautiful picture it is. Another finalist in the wildlife category is called The World is Going Upside Down. Look at that one. That's really pretty. This was taken by Thomas Vijayan. After a 3-hour boat ride across a sea with waves as high as 5 feet tall and small fiber boats that can barely fit 2 people, they entered the mouth of a small river with only one opening between high tide and low tide, which made them, they say, impossible for them to leave the location in the afternoon as the tide departed and the ocean beaches became too rough for the boat. But as they got closer to the targeted spot, the trees in the jungle got too thick for the boat to pass, and they had to continue on foot through crocodile-infested water, waist-deep depth, cameras held above their heads. Finally, they made it to this huge tree, and he climbed up for this shot and waited for the nearby orangutan to climb up and pass him. Look at that. Beautiful. So those are, I think I might have one more. Yeah, it's called Out of the Forest. Sorry about that. Still getting over this cold or whatever it is. This one's called Out of the Forest, and it's by Richard DeGuvia, who's a finalist for the environmental impact category. A silverback mountain gorilla staring back as he explores the world outside of the forest in order to eat the eucalyptus trees planted by local farmers. And this one is the winner of the environmental impact category. It's called The Face in the Trap, taken by Rob Green. He said, the more I work in human-wildlife conflict, the more conflict becomes internal. The 2 dead sheep this grizzly was suspected of killing seem like pretty clear evidence of conflict, but what's less clear, he writes, is what to do about it. So, Grizzly in the Trap. And again, winner of the environmental impact category. Look at that one. This is the last one I'll show you. And this one is called Sweet Girl's Essence, and it was taken by Cinna Ritter, who won the category for sharing the planet. They call this whale Sweet Girl because she had a magic that drew everyone to her. It wasn't just her size or her grace, it was her spirit, her presence, she writes, something unspoken yet deeply felt by every soul fortunate enough to cross her path. She has a gentle charm, a magnetic curiosity that made you feel like you were part of her world, even if just for a moment. Sweet Girl's Essence by Cinna Ritter, winner of Sharing the Planet. So, if that doesn't make you feel better about the world, I don't know what will. All right, let's talk about ice cream. We have this story. This one, and thank you to Teacher Lori for the wildlife pictures. This 4-year-old called 911 to report that his mom ate his ice cream. That his mother was bad. This happened in the village of Mount Pleasant. The police department posted on social media, 2 officers responded to a house where a little boy called 911 saying his mom was being bad and needed to go to jail. The 4-year-old told the officers his mom ate his ice cream and needed to go to jail for it. The young boy eventually changed his mind about his mother's punishment, saying he just wanted some ice cream. So the officers, rewarding this crap behavior, returned to the home the next day to surprise him with some ice cream after he decided he didn't want his mom in trouble anymore. Okay. Yeah. Abuse of 911 should not be rewarded. Gosh, funny. This is pretty incredible. There's a lot of Mario played at my house on the weekends. No video games during the week, but on the weekends, Mario's fair game. This gamer beat Super Mario Brothers in 4 minutes, 54.5 seconds. They call him a dedicated gamer who beat 1985's classic Super Mario Brothers. His name is Niftsky. He's an American gamer. He's got multiple speed running records. And he said achieving this record breaking time was the result of years of playing the Nintendo Entertainment System game and hours of refining his technique to include every possible trick to shave off milliseconds. He said, I can't stress how important it is to obey the saying, practice makes perfect. He said, I spend at least 90% of my time practicing, 10% of my time doing speed runs, which I believe is a good reason why I've made it so far in this game. So he has the Guinness World Record now. His speed run, again, 4 minutes, 54.565 seconds. That's how long it took him to beat the game, which is pretty impressive. But now that he's beaten the game, I'd like him to set the controller down and go out into the world and look at nature. Just for a few minutes, take a video game break. Impressive feat that you have accomplished, Nipsiki. Now set the game down, right? From a wacky story to a sad one. These firefighters are heroes. They protect us. They protect the world. In California, where we just couldn't do it without them, as evidenced by recent Southern California wildfires. And we know that firefighters are exposed to chemicals. They have to go to fires where hazmat situations are happening as flames burn things. Even in a regular house fire, you have flame retardant chemicals that are burning and entering the atmosphere, and these firefighters are the closest to it, breathing things in despite their gear. Now comes this study, published Monday in the journal Cancer. It shows that veteran firefighters appear to have a higher risk of brain tumors called gliomas, which can be caused by gene mutations linked to flame retardant chemicals called holoalkanes. Holoalkanes. All right. The previous studies highlighted a mutational pattern or signature in gliomas linked to holoalkane exposure. So they did a study at the Yale University School of Public Health. And the doctors say they have confirmed the detection of this signature in a cohort of individuals highly likely exposed to haloalkanes, mostly long-term firefighters. The gliomas are the most common type of brain cancer. About a third of all brain tumors are gliomas. For the study, and granted it was a small study, they looked at 17 firefighters with gliomas who participated in a UCSF study of adults with this form of brain cancer, of this form of tumor. The firefighters had been on the job an average of 22 years. So the researchers compared the tumors of the firefighters with 18 other participants in this brain tumor study who worked in other fields. And what they found is that the firefighters' brain tumors were more likely to carry the haloalkane associated mutational signature, especially if they'd been firefighting for many years. It was more likely in jobs that could involve exposure to this chemical, like car painting, machine maintenance, that type of thing. So they want to take the information they got from the smaller study and do a larger data set, look at other occupations as well. But the thought is that if they can identify the exposure to such mutational agents, that it's important to inform the public for health intervention strategies and pinpoint occupational hazards that could be avoidable. So, if you get poor sleep, the studies say you are likely more vulnerable to conspiracy theories. What? Yeah, poor sleep can make you more susceptible to these ideas. Lack of sleep and insomnia, along with depression, lower your guard against misinformation. Poor sleep can make you more susceptible to a wide range of physical and mental health issues, including heart disease, high blood pressure, and anxiety. But there's new research that shows it could also increase the chances of another unwanted outcome, which is accepting conspiracy theories. This team from University of Nottingham School of Psychology conducted two experiments. Hold on, I have to take a cough break, but I'll be right back. Take just a moment. Okay, hopefully my mic muted there, otherwise you would have heard me blowing my nose. Nobody wants to hear that. Um, okay, so again, this team from the University of Nottingham School of Psychology conducted two experiments. They looked at 1,000 volunteers and they published their research March 12th in the Journal of Health Psychology. And what they say is that adding bad sleep quality on top of existing issues can make people more susceptible to untrue conspiracies. The odds of adopting these beliefs may especially increase if tired people are exposed to conspiratorial content from outside sources, as opposed to coming to similarly false conclusions on their own. 540 participants were involved. They took a sleep quality assessment, and then they read two articles about the Notre Dame Cathedral fire in Paris in 2019. Some volunteers got a verified rundown of that. Others had a story that said the fire involved a cover up conspiracy. And after surveying the participants, the researchers noted those who previously cited worse sleep quality entertained the Notre Dame Cathedral conspiracy more often than their well rested counterparts. Then they looked at the psychological profiles and beliefs of the people participating in the study. And they say, yeah, that it looks like there's a direct link between conspiracy theory mindset, poor sleep, and insomnia. That in many cases, depression emerged as a major underlying psychological mechanism behind conspiratorial thinking. And so, the outcome of the study is sleep is crucial for mental health and for cognitive functioning. Poor sleep has been shown to increase the risk of depression, anxiety, and paranoia, factors that also contribute to conspiracy beliefs. That's according to this study out of UCSF and Yale. So, we got to get good sleep. Maybe that's what's wrong with America. Everyone needs a nap right now. Take a nap. Don't believe the conspiracies. Take a little rest. Here's kind of a cool story. Kids have discovered nine new species of tardigrades. These are Danish school children. They collected these tiny little creatures as part of a massive citizen science project. 30,000 people were involved in doing this. And so these school kids, aged 7 to 16, were part of it. They helped scientists from the Natural History Museum in Denmark catalog these tiny water-dwelling animals known as tardigrades or water bears and their microhabitants. The study, published October 2024 in Frontiers in Zoology, quadrupled the number of tardigrade species that in Denmark and offered new insights into the biodiversity of these creatures. These tardigrades are really resilient. They can survive everything from freezing to extremely high temperatures, most kinds of radiation, the vacuum of outer space. They are water animals, but they can endure dry spells because of proteins that protect their cells until water is available once again. The more species you know and more environments in which they are present, they say the better you can understand their ecology, their evolution, and the mechanisms that led to the development of their extraordinary capabilities. Here's this close up. You can see why they're called water bears. Yikes. It looks like something I don't want on me. But the school kids found 9 new species of these tardigrades. The qualities make these tardigrades a great subject of study for biotechnologists. They have harnessed their dehydration abilities to develop dry vaccines, which they think could save lives in regions with limited refrigeration. They are planning to look at tardigrade survival mechanisms so they can understand their genetics and habitats, possibly help us slow down the aging process because, no one wants to get old and die. They may help us with space exploration, aid in assessing environmental health, particularly in response to human-induced changes. So, welcome to the world, 9 new tardigrades. Pretty cool. The project, again, that involved these 30,000 people really helped scientists. They say it would have taken weeks, if not months, to get to all of these islands and islets that were studied by citizen scientists. So, pretty cool that they were able to do it. Last story of the day is about this incredibly cool interactive map. This map allows you to enter your address in and then see how where you live or wherever you're looking at has changed over the last 750 million years. So say you put your address in for your house, you can see how it's evolved between the cryogenian period and the present. Some 240 million years ago, according to the Smithsonian Magazine, the patch of land that would one day become the National Mall was part of an enormous supercontinent known as Pangaea, encompassing nearly all of the Earth's extant land mass. Thanks to a recently released interactive map, interested parties can now superimpose the political boundaries of today onto the geographic formations of yesteryear, dating back to 750 million years ago. And the results are called pretty intriguing. They say the National Mall in Washington, D.C., for example, was almost directly adjacent to Mauritania, yet to be separated from the Northwest African country by the vast waters of the Atlantic Ocean. So, yeah, you can put in your specific address for a more generalized region, state, or country. Then you can choose a date ranging from 0 to 750 million years ago. They have 26 different timeline options from the cryogenian period at intervals of 15 million to 150 million years. So, I'll put the link in the chat in case you're interested. What did the Earth look like a certain number of years ago? That is the question. Here, I'll put it into the chat in case you're interested in seeing more about that. And there you go. All right. And I'll put the link to the article in there as well, so you can read more about it. I thought that was kind of cool. I haven't put my address in yet, but I'm going to. Looks like California was underwater in that picture. Yeah, well, we may be well again someday. There's the link to the article. Okay. You guys, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you have a really, really good rest of your Wednesday. Hopefully you leave the show feeling a little more calm and peaceful. Other than the firefighter story, I think we achieved our goal for the day. I'll be back tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show. Again, lots of lawyers, lots of fun. That's at 11 a.m. here on YouTube, followed by Trivia Thursday here on the After Party. If you have a suggestion for categories, trivia categories, please shoot me an email message, kim@theafterparty.live. Again, it is kim@theafterparty.live. I'll put it up on the screen. There it is. And I will take that into consideration. And then 5 p.m. tomorrow is the Nikki Maduro Show. So I hope that you will join me for that as well. It's going to be really fun. All right, everybody, make it the very best rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.